Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well today. Sitting here fletching some arrows this morning. I was going to go out and shoot, but it's too cold outside today. The temperature's only about 30 some degrees, low 30s, but the wind's blowing about 40 miles an hour. So wind chill's about in the teens and 20s, so there won't be any shooting today anyway. So I figured I'd sit inside and build some arrows. Got some built for the bow that grizzly recurve, but I'm fletching some for turkey hunting. So what I got going on is I've got these I've been practicing with, which is the same arrows, but I've got them fletched in red and white. And maybe it's me being overcautious, but red and white I really don't want to use during turkey season, for obvious reasons and safety reasons and everything. And plus, maybe not, but I'm sure they can see those. And so that's one reason I'm not going to use those. I'll just target shoot with these, and then I'm setting these up for the broadheads and the other heads I have to shoot. So these are going to be white and yellow fletchings, 2 yellow and 1 white, which to me, and I think will be a little bit better anyway. So I've got one fletched up already. I'll show you here in a minute and get this one started. So like I said, I was going to be using these great white heads also, which I've never used those before, but this is going to be my setup. I've got some other broadheads coming, the ones that are for shooting the turkeys that they're about 4 inches wide, and I'll be setting those up today too. But anyway, this is the arrow that I'm going to be using. I think it's a little more, the colors will be a little bit better, so we'll use those. Also, I was talking about earlier videos about tips and stuff about not spending as much money on things, because everything's expensive today and not everybody has a lot of money, and I'm one of those people, and I've always tried to buy the best gear that I can buy. But sometimes you just have to, go with what your funds and your finances will let you say. But, you don't have to spend a whole lot of money to get the same results as everybody else fishing, hunting, or whatever it is. And there's been times in my life where I've, hadn't been able to spend a lot of money, but still, buy decent equipment and catch just as many fish and take just as many animals as anybody else. So this is, the bow that I've been talking about last couple days, and been showing you guys. This is the Bear Grizzly bow, really nice bow. And even though it's the lower end Grizzly, it's still fairly expensive. This bow was $400, and then the sail weight quiver was $130, and then your arrows, and so you're talking, well over $500–600, but you do not have to spend that much money at all. And I'm gonna show you the other bow, one of the other bows that I shoot right here. Let me grab it real quick. And I'm sure that everybody's heard a lot about these bows. This is a Black Hunter. And I've had this bow a couple years, and I think I paid $89 for the bow. And this quiver is $40 on Amazon, and it's a really, really good quiver. Of course, this has been, I painted this camo, so some of you may not like that, but for some reason I just wanted to paint this. But this is a really good shooting bow, and like I said, total, I probably got arrows and everything less than $200 in this bow, and it's really a good shooting bow, and I like shooting it. So there's different options out there. So if you're just getting into it and you don't want to spend a lot of money, go on Amazon and look at these these bows right here, this is the long bow. They make it in a recurve and a long bow. And, you know, arrows the same way. You don't have to spend a lot of money on arrows. You can get a half a dozen arrows for, you know, 40 bucks or cheaper, just as long as you can get them to fly good and everything. So that's just a different option to give you guys, you know, a chance to, if you're looking to spend a little bit less money. I'll get back with you when I get those other broadheads in, and we'll go from there.